Assalamualaikum students, I hope you'll be doing a wonderful job in your life. Today we are going to discuss a very important part of our IELTS exam, that is reading. And if you talk about IELTS, I believe, or in my experience what I have seen, reading is by far the most toughest part in this exam. Why it is considered the toughest? Because you have a whole bunch of paragraphs, almost 5 to 6 pages, that you do not only have to read, but you also have to give proper explanation and proper answers to all these questions. And remember, there are 40 different types of questions in reading. So it is a lot of content, lot of material to deal with. So that's why nearly every student, he feels hesitant while attempting the portion of reading. But no worries, since you are at this Institute Beacon Excellence Academy, and here we strive to give you the best of the best. So what we are going to do, we are going to break this section down into simpler tasks, into such a tricks and such techniques that it becomes really easy for you to attempt this portion. So to start with, as I've told you, the first challenge is the magnitude of the content. So to cater these challenges, I'm giving you a very effective technique that will help you a great deal. And that is bottom-up approach, or we call it hunter's approach. So what is hunter's approach? As you can see, there is a long passage. So what we normally do, since from the early childhood, whenever we are attempting the comprehension part, what we do is to read the passage first, then we go to questions, and then try to find out the answers of these questions. But here in IELTS, as we are already running short of time, so what we need to do, we need to minimize our time that we use reading the passage first, then the questions, and then going back to the passage to find out the answer. This is not the right way. Here we need to use two different techniques, and these are skimming and scanning. So what is skimming? That's an important thing. Skimming is getting the gist, or you may say getting the crux of the whole passage. Why do we take so much time in reading? Because we try to understand each and every word, each and every terminology, each and every sentence, and that is not needed at all. They are not asking to read each and every word, each and every terminology in detail. They're not asking that. They are just asking like 5 to 6 questions out of the whole passage that consists of almost 50 lines. So it tells you that out of those 60 lines, only 6 to 7 lines are relevant. Getting my point? Because if they're asking only 6 to 7 questions, it automatically tells you that the rest of the 53 lines, they are irrelevant. So we do not need to focus on these 53 lines. We need to focus on only the 7 lines that we are required to answer the questions about. But how do we get to know that what are the 7 relevant lines in this passage? This is called skimming and scanning. So the first thing, be very clear that you do not have to read everything. You just need to get the crux. You just need to get the overall idea, overall summary of the passage. This is what you are required to do. And then second part is scanning, that you only need to find the relevant detail, the relevant lines, the relevant terminologies. You do not need to go through the whole passage, because if you are doing that, you are wasting your time. But again, you would ask me, sir, how can we do that? What's the technique of scanning? So this is where we apply the hunter's approach or the bottom-up approach. And what is that approach? That approach means to read the questions first. So as you can see on the slide, we have already read the questions. So whenever you are reading the question, you get to know that these are the things that the examiner is interested in. These are the things that we are questioned about. So you will need to figure out, read the questions first, you will mark these things, you can make a list of these things, that here are the 7 things, here are the 6 things we need to talk about or we need to focus on. So first you will read the questions and then you will go to the passage, and wherever you find the relevant detail, wherever you find the relevant line, you can just simply mark that. In this way, you will not only save your time, you will also save your energies. And this is why we call it hunter's approach. Have you seen hunters hunting in the jungles, hunting in the forests? What do they do? Like, for example, if a hunter is aware that the lion will be in the western part of the forest, do you think they'll start searching the forest from the eastern side? No. They'll straight away go to the western part of the forest and they will hunt the lion. We need to do the same thing. First, we need to figure out where our relevant information is. And then we'll go to the passage, not to read the whole passage, not to go in every nitty-gritty, each and every detail. We'll straight away go to our target, go to our relevant portion and find out the right answer. And I can tell you that if you follow that approach, and that's why, by the way, it's called bottom-up approach as well, because you are not reading the passage from the top, you are starting from the bottom and then you are going up. You are first reading the questions and then you are going towards the passage. That's why it is called bottom-up approach or hunter's approach. So this approach will save not only a lot of time, but a lot of energy and a lot of focus. And it will make your life a lot easier. Let's practice this approach using this particular passage.